Hey guys, it's Tom Box from MC.TV, basically Sam's brother from the internet on the other side of the coast. And today we're going to be showcasing Blackwings to you guys. And for Blackwings, of course, with the new Master Rule plus the stuff from Dual Overload, they definitely made a resurgence already, and that's really powerful. I've already done one build on my channel that focuses on the infinite negate combo stuff. Apparently that's not fair, so we're going to change it up so that set up triple Omni Negate with a lockout from the extra deck, because that's more fair. Yeah. Either way, one way or another, someone's not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's how we know we're having fun in Yu-Gi-Oh! And for this video, we're gonna do a deck list, and then we're gonna do combos at the end. And although the combos look like they're really heavy-handed, like, oh my god, you need so many cards, the deck is catered to actually building up those hands, which is why I still accept them. Otherwise, I wouldn't really bother showcasing it to you guys. It's still consistent enough for me to be like, yeah, I can crush my opponent because they can't deal with having their extra deck locked out with 2 negates, something along those lines. So anyways, without further ado, let's jump into the deck list. All right, into the deck itself. Let's go into the deck list, starting off with the main deck. We have double Zephyros. Yes, 2 Zephyros, even though it is once per duel for the effect, but it is one of your more obvious choices when it comes to a normal summon, because you rather just normal summon a Blackwing name and just spam the rest out. And having Zephyros means you don't have to go into it through Y-Strix, and that gives you an additional way to extend past certain hand traps as well. So having multiple isn't that bad. It's just the name that we really care about. Triple Bora, one of our main extender slash linchpins in most of our combos. We search this out with 4 Strix. It's level 4. It's not once per turn, special summon, 1700 attack, pierces. It's a really, really decent card. And one of the key cards, you have to play 3. If you're not playing 3, you're crazy. Next, we have Chris, Crack of Dawn. Even though it does have a special summon clause, much like Bora, where if you control another Blackwing, you can special summon it. Most of the 2nd generation Blackwing monsters, which is not Bora or Gale, a lot of them, they have a once per turn special summon clause on them. So Chris is one of those. Even though it's level 4, has a higher attack, it's not as useful because you're limited to only 1 special summon per turn. But it does protect itself from the spells and traps destruction. Next, we have Triple Gale, 1st gen Blackwing. In other words, 1st gen Blackwing can special summon as many times as you want from your hand, and that's why it's really good. But having someone's attack permanently, just don't forget to use the effect if you're breaking a board. It's very crucial if you want to break someone's board. And it's a tuner, so you can go into Crystron Hakli for Brax. Then we have 1 Gladius. Gladius is just one of, I don't want to play more than this because the special summon condition requires that you only control 1 monster, and the 1 monster you control is a Blackwing. That's the big limitation, but these 2 combined, they create a 6, giving you an additional normal summon through Nathung. And then for special summons, more extenders. This whole deck is just basically extenders galore, and all the cards are supposed to get you to maybe 3 to 5 Blackwing cards as soon as you can. So triple Harmattan the Dust, because this one can change its level, so this plus an Oster, this is Oster, this plus Oster, immediately gives you a 10, giving you access to full Armor Master. And the full Armor Master can steal opponent's monsters permanently. That's pretty devastating, and it's unaffected by all card effects, so you can't even get stopped on that effect. It's pretty brutal, and you can just banish the Oster to put the wedge counter to get that effect going right away. So it's very powerful and very versatile card. The 2, sometimes it's a 2, sometimes it's a 4, sometimes it's a 6, depending on what other Blackwing monsters you have on the field, and you can change your level. That level changing effect can miss timing if you don't do it right, so be careful with that. Aside from that, it's really, really useful to give your synchros a chance to play. Double Gus the Black Back Blast. This guy's on full blast, but I kind of want to run a 3rd copy. If I have a 3rd copy, it'd be even better, because I realize, hey, sometimes a full special summon hand is a little bit better than not having a full special summon hand. And this card, as long as you control no cards, and you can't even have like a whirlwind or anything on the field. If you top deck this, it's not very good. It's more of like an opener hand type of card. It's really, really good because you can save your cards like Blizzard or Oster for that actual normal summon that would matter a bit more, and you can actually convert Blizzard or Oster to a +1 if you open with Gust instead. And if you have a Whirlwind after that, then it's even better. But that's why this card is amazing, and it's also level 2. You need a mix of levels just so that you can rearrange your levels so that you can synchro properly. I am focused a little bit more on synchro in this build compared to my personal build on my own channel. You guys can check it out if you haven't already. And as for our normal summon based tuners. We have 1 Blizzard, which I want to increase to 2. Seriously, I would actually play 2 if you play 3 Gusts, and I would cut the Oster, but I'm playing also 1 Oster because I'm playing Allure of Darkness, and Allure of Darkness can synergize with the Oster, giving you a quick 8 or sometimes even a quick 10. And that's why I'm still having it in here. I kind of cut it down for a bit because opening multiple is really weird, but you don't mind actually opening like Oster and Blizzard with a Whirlwind. I have a combo for that as well. So that's why you can consider playing an additional copy. Then this would actually put my build to 41. So I guess I kind of cut it for now, but if you want to do the North-South combo, it's pretty decent. In fact, it should be its own variant as well, because it's very interesting because you're spending more on the Nothung, giving yourself the extra Whirlwind, but this build doesn't have Simoon, so you're not getting as much out of your Whirlwinds, and it's basically a sack card if you open with a Whirlwind. Then you have double Orochi, just level 1 extenders. Also Tuner can help you go into Crystron. And here's some funky cards that are not Blackwings, but might as well be a Blackwing. We have Caligo, the Claw Crow. Level 2, as long as you control a Dark Monster, you can special summon up this card. You guys might be wondering, hey, where is this card even from? It's from V for Victory starter deck. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, it's a one-off print. Good luck finding it. You guys probably didn't buy that starter deck because if you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh already, you probably don't buy starter decks, you buy structure decks. It's a one-off, and yeah, it's free special summon. I think we're gonna see more and more people try to tech this into their own decks, simply because you just need to control a Dark Monster to get a free special summon, and that is pretty easy, giving people access to cards like Simorgh, the Bird of Sovereignty. Yeah, so that's something that you can think about. Now, we're not playing Infinite Negate, but you can play Infinite Negate if you want to, but our remaining 3 cards will be Mist Valley Apex Haven for the Omni Negate, O-Lion for our special target for Crystron, and we have Dragon Buster Destruction Sword so that we can lock out people from using their extra deck. Well, it prevents us from getting hit by cards like Super Poly, Mega Fleet, and all that other junk that could break your board very easily. It's like, okay, well, what if we take out that option? Good luck breaking a triple Omni Negate board without having access to your extra deck. It's pretty painful, and even if you Dark Wheeler No Moras, okay, well, you still don't have access to your extra deck, so yeah, think about that. And if you really want to, you can just jam this card in, Mist Valley Thunderbird. In this build, I am not running it. In my build, I am. But in this build, I don't think you actually need it. In fact, I think stunning out people from their extra deck and 3 Omni Negate is a bit stronger. This board can be broken by simply just swinging it into it. So there's stuff to be careful about that. Anyways, on to the spell cards. Triple Black Whirlwind, they basically act as additional pieces that you don't have already. And if you have open with multiple and you have a south and a north, you have a full hand to play with, and you'll finish with a 5-card hand when you finish. But that's pretty sacky, I would say. But having 1 is not very sacky at all. It's pretty common. It's like people having a Tenki. But of course, these are a bit more conditional because you have to successfully normal summon to use them. Triple Allure of Darkness, your whole deck is dark. You don't mind banishing cards because you have Oster that can potentially just revive it back onto the field and just give you additional gas and get rid of some cards that you perhaps don't even need. Triple Call of the Grave, so you can hit off some of the hand traps. Some people are like, yeah, I probably won't need this. A lot of people could hit you with a Nibiru and you can't stop that. And if they hit you with a Nibiru, you can't stop that. And Monster Reborn, Foolish Burial, and a Soul Shade Force because we have Cyber Dragon Infinity, and it's really easy to get that free search anyway. And this card, good luck finding. Again, it's like another one-off print. This is from Wing Raiders, and Foolish Burial can put your Zephyros into the graveyard. And final 2 cards are just play Infinite Permanence. It's just negate stuff. It's nice to have. Stun out Windows. It's good. It's good overall. And for the extra deck now, extra deck, double copies of Y-Strix. You can play 1 if you want. This extra deck is super, super tight. So you can actually cut one of these if you want to put other techs in here. I have other techs I really want to try. I haven't really looked up what I would try for additional synchros. I want to maintain a decent level of synchro focus into this build rather than mine, which is like more link focused than anything. And then we have, I guess, the trifecta here. We have Crystron, Cleaverbrax, we have Simorgh, and we have Union Carrier. This is mainly to get that equipped, or you can do Infinite Negate stuff with these 2. But overall, Union Carrier needs to target a Dark Monster to put that Buster Sword, or you have to target a Dragon card to get that Buster Sword onto the field as an equip. That's really key. And if you can't get the dark, so this time around, the combos I'm going to demonstrate will be focused more on getting that dark monster onto the field and hope that my board doesn't completely collapse because I have a lack of protection. because I don't have infinite protection. I only have maybe 2 to 3. Then we have Crusadia, Avermax, and we have Boral Sword Dragon because they're our boss monsters. We always like our bosses. And for Xyz, Infinity, and Force Tricks. Force Tricks searches your level 4 Dark Winged Beast. That's all you can really search. Don't search like other Winged Beasts. It has to be a level 4. I've seen people try to search out like Gale. They try to search out Harmattan. Yeah, you can't do that. Just make sure you don't do it. And for our Synchro package, we have Nothung. I guess that's our only 6. Yeah, you can summon them out and burn your opponent. Try to burn them for game. If you're gonna be stuck in time, that's why you have an option. It's like having your quick access cowboy. Our 7s, we have Obsidian, Joe, F.A. Don Dragster, and Raikiri. Raikiri is your popper. If you revive Raikiri with Hawk Joe, I believe you can just pop them again because it has the old once per turn clause, which is very, very devastating. These two combined are just board wipe. You make this, pop a bunch of cards, put it down into the graveyard, put another tuner, make Obsidian Hawk Joe, summon this card back, pop their card some more, and these guys aren't small either, so you're 5k damage in already, so this is pretty big. And of course, we can't go on without Boral Savage Dragon. Additional Omni version negates, mainly for spells and traps. If you want to stop stuff like that, it's mainly for those because this one doesn't destroy, whereas all your other options, they do destroy. And of course, finally, we have Full Armor Master, our Big Bird, the Big Bird to negate, well, it doesn't negate anything. It's just unaffected by all other card effects. You put a wedge counter, you can banish Oster the turn that you put it to the graveyard, and I guess whenever you can, and then just put wedge counters and steal their monsters. And since you don't have to put this monster in the extra monster zone, you can just steal them and just put them anywhere and use them as link material if you so choose. And in the simplified game state, this card just wins games. Yeah, so yeah, there's that. And yeah, so it's unaffected by anything. So when you steal their monster, there's nothing they can really do about it, aside from the monster not being affected. That's about it. This is the main deck and the extra deck. I don't even have a side deck for you guys, because I don't even know what the format is like. Because there's also those Necrophase decks, and I'm actually going to do a Necrophase deck before I jump into Rockets on my own channel. So let's jump into combos instead. Okay, this combo, it relies on you bricking and not having the Black Whirlwinds or Allure of Darkness to dig yourself through. So in any case, this is a 1 tuner, 1 level 4, and all of them are just special summon based. Our entire deck is special summon based, so that's why these hands are very much plausible. And not only that, it's plausible in a multitude of different variations. So just keep that in mind. So this is kind of like the brick hand. What do you do with a bunch of monsters? They're all special summonable. So let's just start things off with the normal summon, special summon, special summon, special summon. So we put all 4 monsters on the board. The key thing here about this combo is that you have a level 4 and a level 3 tuner, or I guess a tuner and a level 4. From here, we're gonna go ahead and link these 2 off. We're gonna go into Mr. Raid Raptor. Raid Raptor's effect, we're going to special summon out our Zephyros the Elite. And from here, we're going to overlay the 2 together to make our Force Tricks. Detach Zephyros the Elite to search Bora. That's going to trigger Wise Tricks. That's going to set the Soul Shade Force. It's a mandatory effect, so if your opponent doesn't call you out on it, it's both players' fault for not maintaining game state, apparently. And you can just bounce back the Gale, special summon the Zephyros, the Elite, special summon the Gale, special summon back the Bora. And you still have 1 card that's still kind of dead in your hand. It's not always impermanent. It could be Called by the Grave, as long as it's not Allure of Darkness, Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, anything but those. It's kind of like a null point right here. So what do you go from here? Well, you want the Needle Fiber as soon as you can now. So we're going to get rid of the Force Tricks, since the Force Tricks is going to summon out Cyber Dragon Infinity. And here we get ourselves Crystron, Needle Fiber, or Cleafibrax. And we're going to activate that, summon out O-Lion. Oh, all right. So we wanted to change up the tuner levels because I don't exactly have a good 7. If there was a really good 7 that I could put in here that stuns out my opponent or has some sort of self-protection, I might try to include it into this build just because you might have some of these hands, and if it's frequent enough, it's worth playing. Now you can do 2 things now. If you want double Omni Negate, then you would synchro into a 6. If you think that you can just hold the board with a level 10, then you would use all of these right now and burn the Cyber Dragon Infinity. It's up to you. Either way, one you get to keep the Infinity, one you don't. I'll demonstrate both. So in the case that you don't use the Infinity, go ahead and just synchro these 2 off right now. And we are in Master Rule 2020. So we're gonna summon out right here. We don't have to care about the zones as much. Burn your opponent for 800 damage. And O-Lion's going to activate and special summon out the token. And with the token, we can just make a Union Carrier. And with the Union Carrier, we can go ahead and activate Union Carrier, target our Nothung. We're going to equip the Buster Sword onto it. So now this is 34. It's pretty big, but it's not immune to everything. But to protect it, we can activate Soul Shade Force, put the Force Tricks back onto the field, put the Cyber Dragon Infinity onto the field, take these two now, and we can make space for ourselves. If you don't want to get completely obliterated by your opponent, then you can consider putting it down here. Otherwise, you're not really at any risk of Mega Fleet either way if you put it up here, because you have this on the field still. As long as you have your Dragon Buster Destruction Sword on the field, then you won't get Mega Fleeted. But if you're afraid of Mega Fleet, then put it down here and you're still more or less safe. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. So you can, if you want extra zones, then put it up here. And I think it's actually better to have it up there instead. And during the end phase, of course, you will now summon out Apex Avian. So this one offers you 2 negates, or if you're afraid of dying because you did lose half your life points through Soul Shade Force, you can absorb the Union Carrier under. And if you absorb the Union Carrier under, then this is 25, 34, 27, 24. This isn't enough to kill your opponent. So the only thing you would really negate are things that would break this, because most decks, their threats are coming from say their extra deck, and if you shot at their extra deck, you know that you'll survive for the turn and you have, I guess, multiple Omni negates still available, then your opponent will still die. And so the only things that you would protect would be things that would remove this or things that would remove this. So if the MST Cosmic Cyclone, it's pretty easy, just detach, negate, bounces back, hold the board. As long as your opponent cannot kill you, you're still fine. And if this is alive, for a Blackwing deck, this has a lot more utility. Say this is still on the field and your opponent passes turn, just begin spamming out your Blackwing monsters. Just special summon it onto the field, because during each player's end phase, you get to summon out a Wing Beast monster, and you have a ton of Wing Beasts to play with, and that gives you a ton of options. And in the case where you want to go into a 10, so you want to go into full Armor Master, go ahead and Synchro into the full Armor Master. Okay. And that's going to trigger our O-Lion. O-Lion is going to summon out the token. And yeah, you can just make your play. You can go into a Union Carrier here. But you're like, oh no, I don't have all the negates I need. So you can go ahead and activate the Soul Shade Force now. Special summon out your Force Tricks and put the Cyber Dragon Infinity on top. Now here's your choice. Activate the Union Carrier and let's put this onto the field. Your choice right now is this. You can either get rid of your Infinity, and if you just get rid of the Infinity, you can summon out the Big Bird. And if you do that, that means your end phase, you will finish with an Apex Avian. That's what you can do. That's an option you have. But this one, you only have 1 negate, so I don't feel like this is as strong. Although this monster is much harder to kill. They can't use card effects. So most things you can just negate, and then this will self-protect for most of the destruction-based stuff, and they don't have access to their extra deck. Running this over isn't easy, but it's stuck at 3k. So, all right, let's go into combo number 2. This is what I would call kind of like the standard combo. You're always trying to achieve some level of the end board that we're trying to do here. So we have Gust, which means we're starting our play off with a special summon. So we're gonna special summon. And oh, Tom, what if you don't open with all these monsters? Then you're opening Allure and you're opening Extenders. Either way, you're gonna have a handful of Blackwing monsters. The shorter you finish your combo, if you finish at the shortest level, you should still end with an Apex Avian. If you don't go as far as you need to go, you'll still have Apex Avian with an Infinity. And if you finish further, you finish your whole combo, then you'll have everything out. Anyways, special summon out Gust and special summon out Chris. We're gonna link this right off, and we're gonna go into Y-Strix. Y-Strix effect, special summon out Zephyros the Elite. Now we're going to normal summon out Blizzard the Far North. Blizzard the Far North, we're going to target our Chris and special summon it onto the field. Now we have our 2 4s again, and Caligo, we can just special summon it because we control a dark monster on the fields, which is really easy. And now we're gonna overlay these two into Force Strix, which is why you're gonna have everything. And technically I have one card remaining in hand. We'll just use the token as that representation, detach the Zephyros, add to our hand, borrow the spear. All right, so we have borrow the spear. Can't goose Chris. Chris has already been special summoned, and Y-Strix can't activate. We're gonna get our Soul Shade Force straight onto the field. And we'll just keep it face up so we can remind ourselves that it is there. And okay, we'll special summon out the Bora, bounce it back, put the Zephyros back onto the field, put the Bora back onto the field, and now we have a full field. All right, this is pretty awesome. We can just start off by getting rid of this, immediately just linking this whole chunk off into some more, the bird. And here, this is the part that's a bit more interesting. You can just get rid of these two now, and you go into Crystron Cleaverbrax. Effect of this, now we can get ourselves the O-Lion. With the O-Lion, we can just single these guys into Borload Savage Dragon. Right, we're in Master Rule 5, guys. Effect and effect of both of these. So Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, they're both optional. We're gonna summon out the token. I guess here's the token. And we got ourselves the Y-Strix attached to the Borload Savage. This token's a machine. This is also a machine that just makes it so that we have two machines. That means we can go into Union Carrier. Union Carrier effect, we're going to put our Destruction Sword onto our Borload Savage Dragon, boosting it by another 1,000 attack. Activate Soul Shade Force, special summon back our Raid Raptor Force Strix. And we're going to put in Cyber Dragon Infinity on top of that. With this, we don't have to care about Super Poly as much. And so that's gone too. And end phase, Big Bird is in town. And that's how we finish off our board. 3 Omni Negates and no access to the extra deck. This is lethal. It can also absorb it, of course, if you don't want to leave a potential, I guess, potential weakness of just getting run over and get killed because you're at half life. So there's that. But this is still a very powerful triple Omni Negate. You can't really get Super Poly due to the fact that that's not an option. You can't really get Mega Fleeted because that's not an option. And if anything threatens your board, just start negating him one at a time. If you normal summon something that's not a threat, you can let it go. And now you only have to worry about the remaining cards that he's going to try to hit you with. And this would be any sort of standard. Basically, you cut yourself short per card. If you can't get into this, you have other synchro monsters that are potential options. So you can still go into a Raikiri. If you need to go into a 7, that means Crystron Cleaverbrax went to summon a Gale instead. And that's probably why you'll end up with that instead. Or you might have a Hawkjoe, or if you want to go into a 6, you can go into a Nothung. Either way, you just need something that's dark. If you have a dark level 6, 7, 8, or 10, you'll be able to equip the Buster, and that's why it's important. But remember, if you don't even get rid of your Force Strix, you can use Force Strix, but then you won't have Infinity. That's the only limitation, but you'll still probably have these two available. So you have 1 negate if you do get stunned out and you still feel like, hey, your extra deck is probably the more important part, probably want to stun you out, then put this on. Otherwise, you can put in a copy of the Thunderbird. If you put in a copy of Thunderbird, and you can do the infinite negate combo instead. My other deck focuses more on the Thunderbird, so you can always check that out on my channel at MST TV, and that's combo 2. We got 2 more combos, all right? This is the North-South combo requiring a Blizzard, the Far North, and Auster, the South Wind. That's what's the North-South combo, and a Whirlwind. So the North-South Wind, activate the Black Whirlwind. You know your hand's just full of normal summons, but you have additional normal summons that you can use in this particular combo. So we're going to use the Auster, normal summon it out, and we're going to add to our hand Harmattan the Dust because it's lower attack. We're going to special summon it out, not change the level, and synchro it off into Nothung. Nothung is going to burn your opponent for 800, but it also gives you 1 additional normal summon, so we're going to normal summon out Blizzard the Far North. Chainlinks do matter in this one. If you don't change your chainlink correctly, you will lose out on the ability to use Force Strix. So chainlink 1, Blizzard, chainlink 2, Whirlwind. Whirlwind's going to search. We're going to search Orochi. Okay, Oroshi's been added to hand, and Chain Link 1, we're gonna summon out Harmattan the Dust. Harmattan, because it has an optional trigger that's a when trigger, it can miss timing, but in this case it won't miss timing because it's the last thing that happened. Harmattan the Dust effect, target Blizzard the Far North. This is now level 4. Now keep that in mind, this is level 4, guys. And now we have Orochi the Squall. We're gonna special summon out Orochi, and we're going to link summon it with our Nothung. Now we go into Y-Strix. Y-Strix effect, we're going to put Zephyros the Elite onto the field. And this is 4. See why this is important? Because this is now 4. We can go ahead and overlay 2 and go into Raid Raptor 4 Strix. We're going to detach, of course, the Zephyros the Elite, search out Bora or Chris, but let's just go with Bora because Bora is just a safer choice. Bora the Spear. This is going to activate Y-Strix. That's going to set onto the field our Soul Shade Force. So we keep that in mind, it's still available. This is our hand. And okay, we'll bounce back the Black Whirlwind, special summon out the Zephyros the Elite, and we'll special summon out the Bora from our hand. So this is our hand now, this is the field. And at this point you might be wondering, oh man, what do I do here? I don't really have any sort of end game here. We're not playing the Infinite Negate combo in our current build. You can if you want, because you already have full access to it right here, as you can see. But we're gonna go into Crystron Needle Fiber right here. We're gonna get rid of our 4 Strix, and we're gonna change up the tuner level. We want a tuner level 3 this time. So we're going to special summon out Crystron Cleafabrax. Using its effect, we're gonna summon out Gale. And from here, we can go ahead and synchro these two. And since we are not in Master Rule, we're not in Master Rule 4, Master Rule 5, we can change up with the positions where we summon stuff. We can go ahead and put you right here, or right here, doesn't really matter. Obsidian Hawkjoe, because we have 2 Blackwing monsters, we can special summon, activate the effect of Hawkjoe. We're going to special summon out our Nothung back from the graveyard. They can't burn again, that affects once per turn. Keep that in mind, guys. It's kind of important. And okay, from here we have a choice of what we can do. This guy is pretty big and pretty awesome, which is what I like about him. And now we have another additional Blackwing, so we're going to use this additional Blackwing, 2 wing beasts, and we can go into our Union Carrier. Union Carrier can target the Obsidian Hawkjoe. It's a pretty big monster once you realize, hey, hold on a second. He's pretty big. And we're going to equip onto him our Destruction Sword. These 2 now we can just go ahead and link them off now. And we can make ourselves a big bird, Simorgh, King, or the King of Birds, or the Bird of Sovereignty. And we can activate our Soul Shade Force. Target this. Put the Infinity up. And you can go use Infinity, absorb the Union Carrier if that's what you choose, or you can choose to put more stuff into the graveyard. That's up to you. But end phase, of course, we are getting our Apex Avian. So this is our current hand. This is on the field, and this is the end board if you have a north-south combo. Okay, this combo here looks a little sacky because, oh, it's a 4-card combo, but it can be a mix of range of different things. Main thing here is that there's double Whirlwind. It's pretty easy to open with a bunch of Blackwings as well, but this is the double Whirlwind play that I've come up so far. And we have a monster with 1500 or more attack, and you have another monster with over 800 attack points, and that's the key thing, because you can search out most of your tuners as long as it has over 800 attack points with a double Whirlwind. And we're going to be normal summoning out twice. Okay, let's kick things off. We're going to set up a pretty deadly board at the end as well. Double Whirlwind activate, and we're going to normal summon up Chris, the Crack of Dawn. And from here we're going to add ourselves a Gale and a Gladius. These are our 2 key searches because we want to synchro 6, giving us an additional normal summon. So go ahead and special summon out the Gladius, the Midnight Sun, because that's the only Blackwing we control, and special summon out the Gale because you have other Blackwings on the field. Synchro the 2, and we summon ourselves into Nothung, the Starlight, and upon special summoning, just burn your opponent for 800 and check the clock just to make sure you can just win from here. But if you're not cheesy like that, we can go ahead and normal summon once again using Nothung's additional normal summon. It's like a Brilliant Fusion Seraphinite. We normal summon out our Oster now. And with the normal summon of Oster, we're gonna trigger both Black Whirlwinds. Unfortunately, we don't have anything banished here. We have Blizzard. This is even better because you get a free monster body right from the get-go. From here, we're gonna add 2 monsters that we can special summon. You can go into Harmattan the Dust and another copy of Orochi, I guess. Orochi is a pretty easy summon target here. So Orochi, the Squall. These are easy summon targets. 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner. But if you can get all tuners, that's fine too. So this is our hand, and we're gonna go ahead and special summon out the Harmattan the Dust, and we're gonna change this level to 6. So we're gonna target one of the 4s, and we can special summon out the Orochi the Squall right onto the field. Okay, now we can go ahead and take Oster and Nothung, and we can just turn this into our Y-Strix. So link summon into Y-Strix. Y-Strix will now activate. We're going to special summon out our Zephyros the Elite. We left the level 4 on the field for a reason, so that we can go ahead and overlay the 2 together. And remember, this is Master Rule 5, so zoom zoom. We can ignore all the zoning if you want to. We're gonna detach the Zephyros the Elite to add to our hand a Bora the Spear. This is also gonna trigger our Y-Strix, setting the Soul Shade Force straight onto the field. So this is the current hand so far. Zephyros the Elite can now activate, and we can bounce a card back, put it in their hand, and special summon itself out. Overall, it's looking not too bad. Now we still have our tuner that we special summoned out, and we need this tuner right now. So we're gonna go ahead and, I guess, link summon into our Crystron Clipperfax. Brax, yeah, and that's gonna special summon the O-Lion. Remember, this one is level 6 right now, so you can take these 2 and you can turn it into a Boarload Savage. But before I do that, I need to put up the big boy. The Big Bird. Big Bird has now been special summoned onto the field. Okay, now that we've put a Link monster in the graveyard, we can go ahead and synchro these 2 off, and we can put ourselves a Boarload Savage Dragon, and Chain Link 1 Boarload Savage, Chain Link 2, we get our O-Lion, and with that, we're going to summon out a token, that is a machine, and we're going to equip ourselves with a Y-Strix. Alright, now we take our 2 machines, we can link them off, make a Union Carrier, and we can point it right here. And Union Carrier effect, target the Boarload Savage. And alright, let's shut your opponent out from using any of their extra deck. And we're done, right? Now we can go ahead and activate the Soul Shade Force, targeting the Raid Raptor Force-Trix, special summoning it out. And well, I guess we can just put it right here. And Cyber Dragon Infinity. And if you want to make sure that your opponent's not going to waste your or kill you through Union Carrier, you can use Infinity to absorb it, and then go ahead and activate Samorg. And with Samorg, we finish it off with the Apex Avian right here. So this is your finishing hand. This is your board. You're at less than half life, so you need to maintain a lot of life through this. And you have 3 Omni Negates, all of which negate activations, so there is a weak point in if there's stuff that can't get their activations negated, that will still go through. A 25 beat stick, a 27 beat stick, a 4K beat stick. This is OTK if they can't break this. So there you have it. This is one of the sackier ones. If you have double whirlwind with enough monsters to kind of juice it all out. And that is all I got for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button for Sam, smash that like button for him, and go check out MSD.TV if you got some extra time. We're gonna talk about rulings, we're gonna talk about other decks. I think the next deck I'm gonna be working on would be Necroface, because people don't believe that, hey, that deck is not good. Oh, I'll show you how good that deck is. I'll show you. And also, we're all kind of stuck under this right now, so there's no real competitive event to compare stuff, but maybe there's some online data out there somewhere. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.